Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani here, research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो, so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes. I see that people are joining in and we should be good to go in another 40-50 seconds. Audio video clear. Sridhar ji, hi, good afternoon. Great. We just wait for a few more people. Harish ji, good afternoon to you as well. Vinay ji, good afternoon. Okay. So I see that people have settled in. Okay. Devendra ji, hi, good afternoon. So शुरू करते हैं आज का मिड मार्केट सेशन. So सबसे पहले most important, so we saw the Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 25 basis points. But if you look at the commentary given by the federal chair, so he's mentioned that the inflation is still at the elevated levels, and the further cuts will depend on how well the economy is progressing over there in the US. Secondly, if you look at what they have planned ahead, so they are probably not expecting further rate cuts. Probably there'll be around one rate cut in 2026 and probably one more in 2027. So I think the markets are not going to expect any further rate cuts, barring one each in the next couple of years. So that's for the trajectory. And the other important news is that so Fed, what they have said is starting Friday, they are going to buy around 40 billion US dollars of treasuries. So the demand for bonds is kind of going to push the yields down there, which is again a good sign for emerging markets like us, because if yields go cheaper, then probably there could be some inflows, that will be coming back to our markets. But if you are wondering why hasn't the Fed interest rate cut not been cheered by the markets, because see, the 25 basis point again was kind of discounted by the markets. But secondly, there are still 4 or 5. If I have to talk about top key points as to why the markets are still choppy and range bound despite all the GST cuts, income tax cuts, RBI cut, federal rate has cut their interest rates. In सारे decisions के बावजूद भी our markets are kind of choppy. It could be some of the reasons could be, one is we have again seen dollar hitting a new high today. So again, we have breached past the 90 mark, because the dollar strengthening against the rupee is definitely not going to help the foreign flows. So जब तक डॉलर वीक नहीं होता है तब तक शायद मार्केट में यही स्थिति हमें देखने मिलेगा. दूसरी बात ये है कि जैसे कि फेड का आज आया था, 25 बेसिस पॉइंट डिस्काउंट किया था मार्केट्स ने, और आने वाले वो बोल रहे कि अब अगले 2 साल में शायद पूरे 2026 में एक ही रेट कट हो सकता है और पूरे 2027 में भी एक ही रेट कट हो सकता है. सो द फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग प्रोजेक्शन इज नॉट वेरी पॉजिटिव. So again, I think the fact that they are buying $40 billion of treasuries now, so yields might go down in the short term, but I think later on probably I think yields might go up again, and it can go up again provided the US India trade deal talks fall off. I think that's the major overhang for the markets currently. काफी टाइम से डिले हो चुका है. Hopefully by the end of this financial year we might have a deal between India and US. See, having a deal is important. Secondly, having a constructive deal for India and US, that is also very important. So I think markets will be keenly looking at that. Now that the federal interest rate announcement is passed, अभी Bank of Japan का भी policy है जो December 19th को announce होगा. Now this is also very important because Japan अब तक loose monetary policy follow करता था. Now they are also going to tighten the monetary policy here. So they are going to go for a rate hike because they also want to curb the inflation there. Plus, they have announced the huge stimulus. So Japanese bond yields, we know for a fact, it has been going up. So, there are carry trade unwinding fears as well. So that could make Japanese markets kind of attractive. And if not the money flowing from US to India, probably chances are that the flows might go to Japan, and probably there could be some exits from our markets, and maybe it can go to Japan as well, because Japanese yields, if it goes up, if you're getting around 2% in, so almost near about the 10-year yields are near about 1.92%. So if you're getting 2%, obviously investors will prefer safer assets compared to riskier assets. And lastly, again, I feel even the nominal GDP numbers, if you see, like we've discussed the difference between real GDP and nominal GDP, the earnings hasn't picked up. Okay, so nominal GDP numbers are still below the expectations. So overall, these are all the major overhang in the markets. इसके कारण थोड़ा सा अभी choppiness है. Uh, I think it's December 19. I think Friday, I'm not sure on Friday. So they are going to meet for 2 days, 18, 19. I think 19 is when they are going to announce the interest rate. So these are, couple of, not couple, there are like 4 or 5 issues that are prevailing in the market, जिसके कारण हम थोड़ा सा range bound नजर आ रहा है. बट अगर हम यूएस मार्केट्स की बात करें, I think US 10-year yields have kind of cooled off. I think the $40 billion of treasury purchase is kind of going to bring the yields down, because if there are demand for bonds, the yields will kind of go down, and probably it might settle around the 3.9, 3.8% mark. I don't see further upside in yields, at least in the near term. Probably the yields might remain stagnated, or it might kind of fall off from the current levels here. अगर हम यूएस मार्केट्स की बात करें, सो डाउ जोन्स, S&P 500, नैस्डैक ऑल क्लोज्ड इन पॉजिटिव. डाउ जोन्स ऑलमोस्ट 1% ऊपर क्लोज हुआ. Dow futures is down 0.4%. Europe markets देखे, so Germany was down 0.13%. France was down, even Euro stocks was down around 0.75. London managed to close in green, 0.14% higher. Asian markets देखे, so our markets are the only Asian markets that are in green, whereas the other Asian markets are in red. If you look at Nikkei, down about 1%, Shanghai down about 1%, Hang Seng flat 0.15% lower, Kospi is down around 0.6%. If you look at our indices, Nifty, we are near about 25,900 mark now, 0.53% higher. And Sensex be around 0.47% higher. We are nearing the 85,000 mark in Sensex as well, though we are like 200 points away. Now, talking about the macro indicators, one important positive news for us is that even dollar index has kind of weakened. So you can see that dollar index kal almost 0.6% नीचे गिरा. So falling dollar index is a good sign for us. I think if it goes towards 97.5, 97, and dollar weakening against the basket of 6 major currencies is always a good sign. But if you look at dollar compared to rupee, then dollar is strengthening against the rupee, but it's weakening against the basket of 6 other currencies. So again, FII's flows because of this might probably not come to India, and maybe it might go to Europe markets, or probably some other developed markets or emerging markets, and not India, just because for the fact that dollar is gaining strength against the rupee here. So though DXY is down, but considering the fact that dollar is strengthening against the rupee, and that is not going to bring back the FIIs anytime soon to our markets. If you look at the government bonds yields, again, ये देखो 200 EMA तक एक high बनाया था 4.2% का, and the yields have started to cool off. I think yields might cool off even further, and maybe we can go down to 3.9, 3.85% in the near term. With around 4.2%, this is likely to act as a strong resistance for the government bond yields. Crude oil prices again, so I guess there was a news saying US has seized Venezuela tanker. Venezuela again, they are an oil supplying nation, so I think that has kind of, it had some impact in the crude oil prices. Yesterday it went up nearly about 1%. But again, the crude oil prices has gone down today. So again, the overall trajectory for crude oil is down. It's a silver lining for us कि crude oil prices नीचे है और dollar एकदम all time highs पे है, because we import oil and the invoicing for oil is done in dollars. So if crude oil prices, let's say it goes to 64, 65, 70, and dollar also moves towards 90, 95 mark, I think that can put a significant drain on our foreign exchange reserves, and that is perceived as a negative sign for us. Thankfully, the crude oil prices are down despite the dollar being up. So that is probably some positive sign for our markets. If you look at India VIX, so India VIX again, it's kind of no signs of any panic or fear. I think it's at 10.68. So as long as it stays below the 12.5 mark, there is not going to be any significant change in the volatility. Silver again continues to shine. I think silver hit a fresh high again, $62.88 an ounce. Looks like there is no stopping silver at the current juncture. So around $59 an ounce is where the support lies for silver, and silver continues to keep moving higher. And if you look at gold, so gold again is consolidating. So gold, we are waiting for a breakout above $4,250, $4,260 an ounce. I think if we go above that, then we can expect $4,375, $4,400 an ounce in the short term. Positives would be falling dollar index and US government bonds 10-year yields going down. Negative for us would be the dollar strengthening against the rupee. I think that is not a positive sign as far as the FII's flows are concerned. And that is what we've been seeing in the FI positioning. So even in yesterday's session, they sold around 1,651 crores. And this was the 10th consecutive day of selling by the FIIs. And in the last 10 days itself in the cash market, उन्होंने 21,520 crore का shares बेचा है. So we can clearly see that FIIs are, totally bearish, and there is no signs of any, sentiment changing from the FIIs here. And if you look at the index futures in the last 10 days, the net index futures from minus 87,000 has gone to minus 1,48,000. So again, you can clearly see that there is a buildup of short positions in index futures by the FIIs. And long short ratio, which was around 18.7%, has kind of dropped to 10.67% now. So roughly around 11%. So अभी 89% शॉर्ट पोजीशंस है FIIs के पास और सिर्फ 11% लॉन्ग पोजीशंस है. ये क्लियरली इंडिकेट करता है कि FIIs अभी भी हमारे मार्केट्स को लेके काफी बेरिश है. और अगर ये शॉर्ट कवरिंग आता है, द डे दिस शॉर्ट कवरिंग स्टार्ट्स इन द लॉन्ग शॉर्ट रेशियो, and when the day FII start covering their shorts, then probably there'll be no stopping Nifty. I think Nifty can at least move higher, and probably chances are that we don't know, we might hit 27,000 very soon. But जब तक FIIs अपना short positions cover नहीं करते हैं, तब तक ये choppiness market में बना रह सकता है. Now talking about Nifty, so Nifty has staged a smart recovery from the lows. So it opened near about the previous day's low, that was around 25,750, 25,730. So वो एक strong support zone है निफ्टी के लिए. और हमने देखा कि निफ्टी में एक steady recovery आई है. It made a low of 25,700. And from there on, it has moved up and we are near about the 25,900 mark. So good recovery on an intraday basis. And most importantly, agar aap, let me look at the moving averages. If you see the moving averages, we were near about the 50-day EMA mark. Morning session में हम 50-day EMA के नीचे चले गए थे. कल के सेशन में हमने देखा था 50-day EMA काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है निफ्टी के लिए होल्ड करना. और लोअर लेवल से आज हमें बाइंग देखने को मिली है निफ्टी में. So that clearly shows that the buyers are present at the lower levels, and they have kind of pushed the market higher. So I think this level again, the 50-day EMA, that is around 25,700, 25,720. वो निफ्टी के लिए एक strong support होगा. Now one interesting thing is, if you see just a couple of days back, this 20-day EMA was acting as a strong support. Then it broke below its 20-day EMA. Now this 50-day EMA for the last 3 days is acting as a strong support here. Hopefully it doesn't break this time again. But this time 50-day EMA is acting as a support, but yesterday this 20-day EMA was acting as a resistance for Nifty. So the 20-day EMA is at around 25,956. So around 25,950, 26,000, that's the psychological mark for Nifty. सो लेवल्स एकदम क्लियर है निफ्टी के लिए. जब तक 26,000 एक रेजिस्टेंस है, अप मूव इज पॉसिबल ओनली व्हेन 26,000 गेट्स टेकन आउट ऑन द अपसाइड. और नीचे की तरफ 50 डे ईएमए जोन ऑफ 25,700 वो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट है. बाई चांस अगर हम 25,700 के नीचे जाते हैं और ये लेवल तोड़ देता है निफ्टी, तो हो सकता है शायद हमें ये जो 100 डे ईएमए दैट विल बी द नेक्स्ट की टेक्निकल सपोर्ट. सो अराउंड 25,400, 25,500. Maybe we can drift another 200, 250 points lower in case we break below the 50-day EMA here. So those are the key levels to track in Nifty. Now, as far as Sensex is concerned, Sensex में भी pretty similar story है. Intraday से bounce मिला है. But one good thing is, Sensex अपना 50-day EMA टच नहीं किया है. निफ्टी ने 50-day EMA रेस्पेक्ट करके आज एक बाइंग नजर आई है. बट निफ्टी जैसे 20 डे ईएमए के नीचे, वैसे सेंसेक्स भी अगर आप देखोगे तो 20 डे ईएमए के नीचे ही है. ट्यूसडे को भी वो कोशिश किया था 20 डे ईएमए के ऊपर जाने का, बट एक विक के कारण द प्राइस क्लोज लोअर. कल भी एक अटेम्प्ट किया था सेंसेक्स ने 20 डे ईएमए के ऊपर क्लोज करने का, फिर से असफल रहा. और आज फिर से और एक अटेम्प्ट यहाँ पे बन रहा है सेंसेक्स का. सो द 20 डे ईएमए इज एट 84,846. so 84,850, 84,900 वो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस जोन है सेंसेक्स के लिए. तो अगर हमें ये 84,900, 85,000, so 85,000 इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस फॉर सेंसेक्स. अगर हम 85,000 ब्रेक करके ऊपर जाते हैं तो हो सकता है हमें एक स्ट्रॉन्ग अपमूव देखने को मिले. while on the downside I feel ये जो 50 डे ये में जो अराउंड 84,000 के आसपास है, सो अराउंड 1,000 पॉइंट्स का रेंज है सेंसेक्स में. Nifty has a range of 300 points, 25,700 on the downside, 26,000 on the upside. While for Sensex, 85,000 is a strong resistance. Any move above 85,000 can push the price higher. While 84,000, which coincides with the 50-day EMA, that is where the support lies for Sensex. But अगर हम उसके भी नीचे जाते हैं तो then I think we can see another 1,000 points drop, and Sensex can move towards its 100-day EMA of 83,000. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट बैंक निफ्टी. सो बैंक निफ्टी में भी काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकवरी देखी है. तो अगर हमने यहाँ पे अगर मैं एक लाइन ड्रॉ करता हूँ, सो आप देख सकते हो ये जो 58,800, 58,900, this is one zone and there was one another zone here which is 58,800. तो ये 58,800, 58,900 एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट है. यहाँ पे हम देख रहे कि एक मेजर सपोर्ट यहाँ पे था, फिर एक सपोर्ट यहाँ पे लिया, फिर एक सपोर्ट यहाँ पे लिया, एंड अगेन बैंक निफ्टी टुक वन मोर सपोर्ट हियर. So this 58,800, 58,900 is acting as a strong support for Bank Nifty. There have been multiple supports in this area. So यही जोन आगे जाके भी बैंक निफ्टी के लिए एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट की तरह काम करेगा. तो जब तक 58,800, 58,900 बैंक निफ्टी रेस्पेक्ट करता है, it can continue to move higher. But I think the fall can probably come in Bank Nifty once 58,800 is taken out on the downside. And if you look at the daily chart, so daily chart में अगर हम बैंक निफ्टी की अगर मूविंग एवरेजेस देखें, so बैंक निफ्टी यहाँ पे मैनेज किया था, अगर आप देखोगे ऑलमोस्ट 9 दिसंबर को 20 डे ईएमए के ऊपर क्लोज कर दिया था. बट अगेन ऑन द नेक्स्ट डे ऑन द 10th of December फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम वो 20 डे ईएमए के नीचे क्लोज दिया, और आज फिर से ऐसे लग रहा है कि हम 20 डे ईएमए के ऊपर क्लोज देने वाले हैं. तो तीनों दिन से एक चॉपी मूवमेंट ही है. अगर आप देखोगे काफी चॉपी है मूवमेंट. ऑन द डाउन साइड आई फील 58,800 इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट फॉर बैंक निफ्टी, एंड ऑन द अपसाइड आई फील ये 3 दिन का जो कंसोलिडेशन है इसके ऊपर हमें जाना चाहिए. So on the upside, if we see 59,400, 59,500, that is a strong resistance for Bank Nifty. और अगर 59,500 के अगर हम ऊपर जाते हैं, then chances are that Bank Nifty can kind of move up higher. So 58,800 on the downside and 59,500 on the upside. That's a strong resistance for Bank Nifty here. Now talking about the heat map, talking about which are the sectors that are in focus. So if you look at BFSI space is doing well. HDFC Bank is up around 1%. ICICI Bank is relatively flat. The Bajaj twins में से Bajaj Finserv is flat while Bajaj Finance is up 0.38%. SBI is up around 0.34%. Kotak Bank is doing well, one of the private banking names जो आज के सेशन में काफी strong है. So Kotak Bank almost 3% ऊपर है. आज आईटी में भी थोड़ा सा रिलीफ आया है 2 दिन के सेल ऑफ के बाद. टीसीएस फ्लैट, एचसीएल टेक 0.37% हायर, इनफीज अप 0.45%. एटर्नल थोड़ा चॉपी है, एक दिन ऊपर रहता है 2%, फिर 2% नीचे गिरता है, देन अगेन इट गोज अप बाय 2%, देन अगेन इट कम्स डाउन बाय 2%. सो एटर्नल इज ऑलमोस्ट 3-4 दिन से एक चॉपी मूवमेंट नजर आ रहा है एटर्नल में. Today we have good support from Reliance as well. Reliance is up 0.76%. Coal India is up 0.76%. Auto names are also doing well. Maruti 1.5% higher. Bajaj Auto is up around 1%. If you look at Tata Consumer is up 1.11%. Nestle India is up around 0.88%. The stocks that are in red, Asian Paints continues to fall. Bharti Airtel में around 0.8% नीचे है. Titan is down 0.41% while Indigo again उनका थोड़ा capacity hit होने वाला है, plus they have been asked to curtail some of their routes here. So probably this quarter Indigo might feel the pinch, and market is kind of discounting that, and that is the reason why you are seeing that selling in Indigo despite the operational issues being sorted here. If you look at the metal index, I think metal index have recovered. If you see, all the cement companies are doing well. Ultratech is up around 1.24%. Grasim is up 1.11%. If you look at Tata Steel is up 1.3%. Indalco is up 0.32%. So overall, BL is also kind of recovering. It's up 0.37%. Adani Enterprise is up around 2%. Even pharma space is kind of supporting the markets today. Sun Pharma is up around 0.8%. Cipla is up 1.25%, while Dr. Reddy is up again 1.85%. So the pharma counters are doing well in today's trade. If you look at the key sectors to watch, if you look at from a last 5 days perspective, we can see that it's the private banking space that are doing well. PSU banks हाल ही में अच्छा कर रहे थे, but अभी थोड़ा सा profit booking आया है. But again, we are seeing some recovery. So overall, the banking space overall looks very strong. So पिछले 5 दिन अगर हम देखेंगे, it's the private banks, financial services and PSU banks. These are the sectors that are relatively doing well. Whereas realty continues to be down, defense is down, tourism is down, and capital markets are down as well. So avoid defense, avoid tourism, avoid realty, because these are the sectors where there is relative underperformance that is seen here. Now talking about the key stocks to watch out and the key sectors that are in focus. Like I said, the only strong performing sector in this particular market is your private banks. तो अगर हम private banks की ratio chart देखें यहाँ पे, so we can clearly see that post the downward sloping breakout, Nifty private banks by Nifty ratio chart has started to move up higher. तो ये indicate करता है कि private banks अब outperform कर रहे हैं Nifty को. So next Tuesday we are going to have a detailed session on ratio charts as well. आप रेशियो चार्ट्स क्या होता है, कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, इससे हाउ डू यू फाइंड ट्रेंडिंग सेक्टर्स, हाउ डू यू फाइंड ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक्स बेस्ड ऑन रेशियो चार्ट. सो वील हैव अ सेपरेट डिस्कशन that will happen next Tuesday from 4 to 5. But again, a rising ratio line indicates that the sector in the numerator is outperforming the sector in the denominator. So your numerator is private banks. So a rising ratio line indicates that private banks is kind of moving higher. But in that one particular stock, if I have to talk about one particular stock from the private banking space, is Kotak Bank. So Kotak Bank, it's almost up around 3%. अगर आप देखोगे almost नवंबर से ही एक choppiness था कोटक बैंक में. It was moving in a sideways range, then it went up and again started moving in a sideways range. But today there is a formation of a strong candle and looks like now Kotak Bank can move up higher. So 2250, 2260 is where the previous resistance is, and it also trades above all its key moving averages with around 2120, 2130. That zone is likely to act as a strong support. The DI plus has crossed over DI minus in the ADX indicator. MACD has also given a crossover above the signal line. RSI is also above 60. So the indicators are also very healthy. So looks like Kotak Bank probably can do well in the coming days. Hindustan Zinc again rising silver prices. It continues to help the stock. So Hindustan Zinc, it's at 520. It's though there is some profit booking that we have seen on an intraday basis. But if it sustains above 525, 530, though there is some pressure that we are seeing around the 525, 530 levels. But अगर ये 530 के ऊपर close करता है, I think it can move up even higher. It can go until 550, 560 levels in the short term. So as long as silver prices keeps moving higher, I think Hindustan Zinc also moves in tandem with the silver prices. So the zone of 500, 505, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for Hindustan Zinc. Apart from that, Vedanta also continues to move up higher. So there is a strong resistance for Vedanta. So you can see that there is one resistance in this zone. There is one resistance again here. Again, there is one resistance, and it's near the resistance point now. So that is near about the 530, 540 zone. So if Vedanta has been unable to cross the 530, 540 zone the previous three times, I think once it takes out 530, 540 decisively, I think Vedanta can keep moving higher, and it is moving in a higher high, higher low formation with around 500 acting as a strong support for Vedanta. The other good stock that is looking well is Jamna Auto Industries, an auto ancillary name. अगर हम Jamna Auto देखें, so post the breakout, it kind of went into a consolidation phase. I feel once this high of 125 is taken out, then chances are that Jamna Auto can also keep moving higher. You can see the MACD line is pointing upwards. Our ADX is also kind of in a rising mode. And on the downside, around 115 is a strong support for the stock, and any move above 125 is likely to be positive for Jamna Auto. The next stock again, it's Cummins India. I think ये मूर्ति जी का favorite stock है. So अगर हम Cummins बात करें, so Cummins also has been moving higher in a higher high, higher low formation. So it is respecting its 20-day EMA. So around 4,400 is a strong support for the stock. And I think if it moves higher, if it gives a breakout above 4,570, 4,600, Cummins India can also keep moving higher. So one of the names, one of the strong names in the current market. Apart from that, even India Cements, probably one of the cement space that is doing well, but India Cements has been facing some resistance in this mark here. So if you see, there was one resistance around the 420 mark, then again there was one resistance around the 420 mark here, and again the price is approaching the same resistance area. So अगर ये 420 425 के ऊपर जाता है, then I think even India Cements can keep moving higher. With your 20-day EMA, this zone is likely to act as a strong support zone. That is around 400 405. So that is a strong support zone for India Cements. Apart from that, even Met Plus, अगर हम Met Plus की बात करें, so Met Plus again, the overall it is lacking some clear directional momentum currently, but the fact that it is slowly and steadily moving up higher, and if we get a breakout, let's say about 825, 830, then chances are that even Met Plus can do well, and it can probably move higher towards 850, 855 levels in the short term. With around 790, 785 acting as a strong support for the stock. And the last stock that I want to discuss is GAIL, that is GAEL, that is Gujarat Ambuja Exports Limited. So GAEL again has given a trend line breakout, but एक follow through move हमें मिला नहीं है, जो usually हम breakout के बाद देखते हैं. But जैसे ही यहाँ पे breakout आया था, वहां से ही price एकदम consolidation में चला गया है. But I think once it takes out 120, 122, then chances are that even GAL can do well in the coming sessions. With the 20-day EMA of 113, 114 acting as a strong support for the stock. So that was all about today's mid-market session. I hope it was informative. And now let us start off with our question and answer session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer them. Murthy I've asked about rights issue. I think I'm yet to get an answer from them. Hopefully, I'll follow up with them again today. And let's see. Once I have an answer for that, I'll let you know regarding the same. JSWCC आई फील काफी टाइम से अगर आप देखोगे इट वाज इन अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रन एक टाइम में मेटल स्टॉक्स वर डूइंग वेल शेषाद्री जी आई थिंक इट्स अ रूटीन प्रॉफिट बुकिंग rather than any कुछ आई एम नॉट अवेयर ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर न्यूज इन दिस काउंटर but I think it's more got to do with a fact that it has run up, and I think Tata Steel has announced some acquisition, and they are going to expand their capacity because of that. So it might be जस्ट वो शायद वो उसका प्रेशर ये स्टॉक पे पड़ रहा होगा आई थिंक बारिंग दैट आई डोंट सी एनी फंडामेंटल इश्यूज एज फार एज JSW Steel is concerned. I think 1065 1070 is a strong support. Hopefully we should be able to get some reversal signs from this level. If not, then I think the fall can extend even further. So I think शायद वो एक रीजन हो सकता है द टाटा स्टील्स एक्विजिशन and probably overall metal sector ka profit booking year. Manoj ji is asking, sir, do you see any reversal signs in Tata Steel? Tata Steel, yes, today it is doing well, but the bounce is not very strong. I think hopefully it needs to hold 155, 156 on the downside. That will be a key level on the downside. Below 155, it can fall down even further. The other stock you are asking is Lemon Tree. Lemon Tree, again, we need a breakout above 167, 169. थोड़ा सा choppy है, sideways है. I think 158 is where the support is, but wait above 167, 169 in Lemon Tree. Rakesh ji, India GSEC yield corrected, but since then it is in a rising mode. Yes. Oh, wow. The chart doesn't look that very promising here. Probably, I think FIIs probably they might be piling on the bonds here. We have gotten a downward sloping breakout in the bond yields. Yes, I think this is also one. I think that is probably also got to do with the fact that maybe even dollar strengthening, yields also going up. So I feel maybe some money is moving off equities and moving to bonds. And अगर आप sovereign bonds का pile up भी देखोगे, FIIs in the last 3-4 months they have been heavily piling on the sovereign bonds here. So FIIs might think getting 6.6% risk free is much better than probably parking your money in equities till the time India-US trade deal is not announced. And that is why probably I feel equities is feeling some pressure here. But yeah, this is also a major development. So we want the yields also to go down. Good way, in a way that yields going up. That is the reason why probably our equities is also under some kind of pressure. दृष्टि ज्ञानमय जी सर IREDA का बता दीजिए क्या करना है. IRDA एकदम डाउन ट्रेंड में है. अगर आप देखोगे सारे मूविंग एवरेजेस के नीचे है. आई थिंक एग्जिट करना ही बेटर होगा. मे बी इसका नेक्स्ट सपोर्ट मुझे 125 128 के आसपास लग रहा है. बट आई थिंक इसमें रिवर्सल साइंस बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. पूरे रेलवे सेक्टर में कुछ मोमेंटम नहीं है. सो आई थिंक इट्स बेटर टू अवॉइड एन एग्जिट and maybe look for a fresh re-entry again. Sir, are you think FIs bear? It does, Samartha ji, because भले ही FIIs है नहीं, बट FIIs bring in liquidity in our system. हमने देखा है कि जब जब FIIs का presence होता है, वो एक जो liquidity वो लेके आता है, you could literally see stocks moving up and down like crazy. But फिलहाल FIIs है नहीं, but thanks to the regular SIP inflows, the domestic institutional investors like your mutual funds have enough money to keep buying, especially at a time when FIIs are selling. And a lot of new retail investors are entering into the market. So that is the reason why our markets are kind of holding up. But अगर आप ऐसे मान लो, अगर ऐसे स्थिति है जहाँ पे SIPs नहीं हो रहे और रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स भी पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे और FIIs भी नहीं है, तो यार मार्केट शायद हम आज 25,000 में नहीं, कुछ और लेवल शायद हमें रहते। बट ये हमने देखा कि जेन स्ट्रीट जब वो न्यूज आया था उनका बैन होने के बाद लिक्विडिटी ऑलमोस्ट ठप हो गया था वहां पे। सो FIIs आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आई थिंक। सी इवन विदाउट FIIs आर मार्केट्स विल रिमेन स्टेडी, बट वो जो मोमेंटम जो आता है मार्केट्स में वो तब आता है जब FIIs का पार्टिसिपेशन आता है। सो दैट इज व्हाई हैविंग FIIs presence is very important, because when they come in with huge money. So that drives up liquidity, and that is what exactly the market is lacking currently. ये ऐसे ही चलता रहेगा, रिटेल विल पार्टिसिपेट, DIs will go up, SIPs will keep coming in, will keep moving up the ladder. But the day you see लॉन्ग शॉर्ट रेशियो आज 11% पे है, जिस दिन ये लॉन्ग शॉर्ट रेशियो इंप्रूव होगा, द डे FII स्टार्ट कवरिंग देयर शॉर्ट्स, आप देख लेना मूवमेंट कैसा होगा ऑन द अपसाइड। यू विल सी इट विल बी फास्ट, इट विल बी क्विक, एंड यू विल फील लाइक क्या हो रहा है, आपके पास कुछ करने टाइम ही नहीं होगा। बट 3.5 मंथ से लॉन्ग शॉर्ट रेशियो मूव ही नहीं हो रहा है। बट सारे रीजंस आप एक तरफ छोड़ दो, आई थिंक द मेजर रीजन इज इंडिया US का ट्रेड डील। आई थिंक मार्केट इज कीनली अवेटिंग दैट। वो अगर डील, अगर इफ इट इज पॉजिटिव इन इंडियाज फेवर, देन प्रॉब्ली आई थिंक 2026 will be a very good year for us. I feel that is the major overhang. भले ये फेडरल रिजर्व का इंटरेस्ट रेट, RBI का इंटरेस्ट रेट्स ये तो चलते ही रहेगा, एवरी क्वार्टर में यू विल कीप हैविंग दीज अनाउंसमेंट्स, but this major overhang is the India US trade deal. I think then the FIs will decide कि आप कहाँ पे जाना है, इंडिया जाना है, चाइना जाना है, या US में रहना है, या बाकी डेवलप कंट्रीज में जाना है, या बाकी emerging markets में जाना है. I think that is when the FIs will probably decide as to what their next strategy would be. Bajaj Auto, Mittal ji is asking for Bajaj Auto. Let me see Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto flat, but I feel wait until 9,250 is taken out. I think once 9,250 is taken out on the upside, I think then chances are that Bajaj Auto can go up. सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज, ये सारे डिफेंस काउंटर्स अब नीचे ही है। सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज डाउन ट्रेंड में है, 1400 में है, राइट। इसका क्या कर सकते हैं सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज का, मे बी 12,100 12,000 का SL लगा के आप बैठ सकते हो। ट्रेंड थोड़ा वीक है सुमन जी इसमें, बिकॉज मुझे लगता है 12,100 12,000 के नीचे जाएगा तो शायद और सेलिंग प्रेशर आ सकता है। फिलहाल ऐसे कोई भी साइंस नहीं है जो इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि ये शायद अब ऊपर जाएगा, तो इसमें मंदी लग रहा है सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज में। ओवरऑल डिफेंस स्पेस भी डाउन ही है सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज में। सी कैम्स अगेन, it is at a very important support level. अगर आप देखोगे एक अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन है, इसको रेस्पेक्ट किया है 4 बार। सो अगर हम देखें यहाँ पे there was support 1, support twice, support thrice, और फिर से एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बाइंग नजर आ रहा है कि सपोर्ट लेवल पर। तो जब तक ये वाला जो जोन है 740 750 अगर रेस्पेक्ट करता है तो इट्स गुड, बट इफ इट गोज डाउन तो ये और नीचे जा सकता है। बट अगर ये होल्ड करेगा तो फिर से आई थिंक वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट कैम्स टू मूव अप हायर। So I think this is a very key level to watch out. See if CAMS holds on to 740 750. के फिनटेक की अगर हम बात करें, सिमिलर स्टोरी है। देखो के फिनटेक भी वो की सपोर्ट लेवल के आसपास ही है। अगर हम देखें तो ये एक सपोर्ट है, ये एक सपोर्ट है, और यहाँ से एक सेम बाउंस हमें देखने मिल रहा है। सो आई थिंक के फिनटेक नीड्स टू होल्ड अबाउट 1000 1020। सिमिलर पैटर्न है कैम्स और के फिनटेक में विनय जी। सो आई थिंक यहाँ से वो फॉलो थ्रू आना चाहिए, दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट। या ये एक सिर्फ वन डे का बाउंस है वो हमें देखना पड़ेगा। सो विल हैव टू वेट एंड वॉच। BSC इज गुड, थोड़ा सा रूटीन प्रॉफिट बुकिंग है। आई फील 2550 2600 इसका एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट है, बट थोड़ा और रिवर्सल साइन, हमें भी 2750 2800 तक आप वेट कर लेना। आई थिंक इसके ऊपर अगर जाता है तो मोमेंटम आ सकता है ऊपर की तरफ। Does this trend in GSEC imply one can move funds? Yeah, I think the fact that, or I think that is the reason why the yields have started to move up. Short term perspective के लिए yes, and also I think for the fact that Fed का commentary ऐसे आया है कि there is only going to be one rate cut. and in 26 and 27. But I feel at some point of time, even RBI will intervene. They won't let interest rates probably move beyond the 7 mark. I think if I have to look at probably अगर chart wise ही अगर हम देखें, so you can see probably if let's say yields goes up higher, maybe we can see until 6.7. This is where I feel the next high is. So 6.7, 6.8, we can move until that. Then there is one strong resistance in this area as well. That is around 6. So 6.7, 6.8, if it moves until that level, but I think वो तब तक वापस आएगा तो our equities will keep remaining choppy. That is the only thing. But I think at some point of time, RBI should intervene. But purely going on the basis of chart pattern, that's a classic symmetrical triangle breakout. And at the current juncture, I feel if you are a foreign investor or even if you are an investor who would probably want to not go or take wild risk at this moment, considering the fact that there are a lot of uncertainties around. I feel it's better to park your money in bonds rather than in equities currently, because you don't know how the deal is going to turn out. So when you are seeing that the yields are rising, it's better to park your money there, at least from a short term perspective. फिर से हाउडी ट्रम्प हो जाए, I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon. Adani Power, let me see. Adani Power अवॉइड कर रहा है थोड़ा सा, हर दिन ये प्राइस गिरते हुए नजर आ रहा है. I feel around 130, 132 is a strong support for the stock. I think any move below 130 can lead to price moving down further. Yeah, sugar stocks. In fact, I was looking at Balrampur Chini. It is at a very important support level. In fact, I was looking at Balrampur Chini. अगर आप देखोगे, the last time there was this big rally that came in Balrampur Chini was around the 420 levels, and the formation of this candle around the same level here, and that's also a fake breakdown. If you remember, we had one webinar on fake breakdown. So not sure if there is any news in sugar sector, nothing that I am aware of. But I think if this level holds 420, and I think if let's say we get a breakout above this particular trend line like this, I think then chances are that I think Balrampur can kind of move up higher. But I think in all the sugar stocks, I feel like Balrampur Chini is one stock that you can keep in your radar. Looks like it's strong, but it needs to hold 420. That's a key level to watch out. Okay, I'll just take one last stock. Natco Pharma. Natco Pharma is good, but wait for maybe a breakout above this level. I think 950 के ऊपर एक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ब्रेकआउट दिया है, फिर से कंसोलिडेट हुआ है. आई थिंक वंस इट टेक्स आउट 945, 950, chances are that it can move up higher. High-tech pipes. Sumanji is asking high-tech pipes. नहीं सुमन जी, अवॉइड करना. हाईटेक पाइप्स भी डाउन ट्रेंड में ही है. आई थिंक इट्स बेटर टू अवॉइड हाईटेक पाइप्स. 85 इसका एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट है, बट आई थिंक 85 के नीचे जाता है तो थोड़ा और प्रेशर आ सकता है. दोनों ही स्टॉक अच्छा नहीं है. अगर मैं बोलो, सोलर इंडस्ट्रीज भी डाउन ट्रेंड है, हाईटेक पाइप्स भी डाउन ट्रेंड ही है. सुजलॉन अवॉइड. सुजलॉन. अच्छा जी, लेट मी लुक एट सुजलॉन. ये देखो, ये भी डाउन ट्रेंड में ही है, कुछ मोमेंटम ही नहीं है स्टॉक में. आपका कैपिटल ब्लॉक हो जाएगा. आप ऐसे स्टॉक में डालोगे, 50 rupees will look attractive, guys. A lot of people that I know, they try to invest in penny stocks. से 30 रुपया का शेयर कल 33 हो जाए तो 10% रिटर्न है, या 30 से 60 हो जाए तो 100% रिटर्न है. डोंट गो फॉर दीज पेनी स्टॉक्स, गाइज. गुड फॉर टेक्निकली साउंड स्टॉक्स ओनली. देर आर 4000 स्टॉक में से बहुत सारे स्टॉक्स है जो आपको मिलेंगे जो फंडामेंटली भी साउंड है और टेक्निकली एक अप ट्रेंड में है. सारे मूविंग एवरेजेस इसके ऊपर ट्रेड कर रहे हैं. एक हायर हाई हायर लो फॉर्मेशन से मूव हो रहा है. RSI राइजिंग मोड में है, आपका ADX राइजिंग मोड में है. इट्स रादर good to be in such stocks rather than with stock. I mean, look at stocks like IREDA. See this clear downtrend में. Look at stocks like Trend for that matter. बीच में Trend एक अच्छा trending था. You can see एक downtrend में. Look at stocks like TMPV. ये भी एक downtrend में. So it's better to avoid such stocks. इसमें कुछ नहीं होगा, आपका लॉस एक्सटेंड होते जाएगा. अगर आप ई मार्जिन में ले लिया तो और भी आपका लॉस फिर 4 गुना हो जाएगा इसमें. सो स्टे विथ ट्रेंडिंग सेक्टर, स्टे विथ ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक्स. जो अप ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक्स है उसमें रहना. हाँ, जिस दिन मार्केट में मंदी है देन लुक फॉर डाउन ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक्स. वो ऐसा स्टॉक्स जो शायद 1-2 हफ्ता डाउन ट्रेंड में फिर से रिकवर कर जाए, तो वैसे स्टॉक्स में रहना. बट यू लुक एट स्टॉक्स लाइक आर पावर. ये देखो 33 रुपीज का स्टॉक है. दिस इज ऑल्सो इन अ डाउन ट्रेंड. सो स्टे अवे फ्रॉम पेनी स्टॉक्स बिकॉज ये स्टॉक, इवन आइडिया फॉर दैट मैटर, आई थिंक आई वुड से इवन आइडिया से भी, भले आइडिया में एक स्ट्रॉन्ग मूव आया है, बट ये जहाँ से 6 रुपया से 11 हुआ है, आई थिंक वो 6 का 12 हो गया, मतलब इट्स 100% रिटर्न. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इज, अगर कोई नया रिटेल इन्वेस्टर है वो 12 रुपया में डाल के सोचेगा अब 24 हो जाएगा तो और डबल हो जाएगा. बट यू डोंट नो, सच स्टॉक्स कैन फॉल फ्रॉम 11 to 6 ऑल्सो एट वन गो. सो थोड़ा सा अलोकेशन अगर आपको करना है आप कर सकते हो, बट डोंट हैव अ सिग्निफिकेंट अलोकेशन टू दी स्टॉक्स. या इवन डीमार्ट फॉर दैट मैटर. सी सारे मूविंग एवरेजेस के नीचे है. आई थिंक इट्स बेटर टू अवॉइड स्टॉक्स दैट आर इन सच अ डाउन ट्रेंड. जो सारे मूविंग एवरेजेस के नीचे उसको तो अवॉइड ही करना चाहिए. स्मॉल कैप अभी प्रेशर है. आई थिंक स्मॉल कैप मिड कैप 2023 2024 दे हैड अ गुड टाइम. आई थिंक अभी बहुत सारे वैल्यू काफी रन अप हो गए थे उस टाइम में. ऐसा लग रहा था तो रोज ऊपर बढ़ते ही जा रहा है, बढ़ते ही जा रहा है. उसका जो फेयर वैल्यू है उससे भी काफी ऊपर बढ़ गए थे काफी सारे स्टॉक स्मॉल कैप और मिड कैप स्पेस में देखोगे. तभी लार्ज कैप्स परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहे थे. अब पैसा लार्ज कैप्स परफॉर्म कर रहा है, स्मॉल कैप्स में आपको थोड़ा प्रेशर दिख रहा है यहाँ पे. सो आई थिंक इट्स बेटर टू अवॉइड स्मॉल कैप्स. फिर से जब रिवर्सल आएगा तो हम देख लेंगे कि कब स्मॉल कैप्स में फिर से मोमेंटम आएगा. सो फॉर नाउ इन दिस मार्केट बेटर टू स्टे विथ लार्ज कैप्स. और अभी तो इवन बॉन्ड मार्केट लुक्स अट्रैक्टिव देन आवर इक्विटी मार्केट, कंसिडरिंग द फैक्ट दैट देयर इज अ ब्रेकआउट इन द 10-year bond yields as well, and also the FIs are not participating currently. So we'll have to wait and watch. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's all from today's session. I hope it was informative, and I'll see you all tomorrow now. Uh, so tomorrow at 12:30 we'll meet for the mid-market session, and and there's a detailed webinar that we'll be taking on ratio charts that will be happening next Tuesday. Until then, bye guys. Take care. Stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, guys.